I think a lot of people probably don't use match color all that much because a lot of the time it doesn't really give you the effect that you want. Here's an example where a couple of pictures I took, I really like the colors the way they came out on this one a whole lot better than this one, especially the sky. So let's see what match color does and see if it's going to help us at all. So here's the match color dialog box. I'm basically going to say that I want to use this file as the source. Now you see it did change the colors, but if I turn the preview on and off, it's almost a little bit too much. So we can play around with the fade command. It's not too bad, but the problem is it's matching the blue of the sky but not as much her flesh tone. So it's okay. It's not too bad. But what I've done here, by the way, is I've duplicated the background layer. And the reason I've done that is so now what I could do is go back to, match color. Put this back the way it was. I want to use this one. I'm going to put the color intensity just a little lower, maybe fade it out just a bit. Can always try neutralize. Sometimes that takes away a bit of the color cast introduced, and if you want to make it a little brighter. And because of the way I've done this, now I could of course add a layer mask, and if I wanted to start painting on the areas where I don't want the color to be affected, like her flesh tone. So as you can imagine, that would work, but it would also be a lot of work. So I want to show you a couple of other things that just to be aware that as an experimental kind of command, match color can do some pretty interesting other things for you. So actually I just meant to get rid of the layer mask but duplicate it. So just to show you some of the other things that are possible in here. Match color, I'm going to move it over here. So all it'll be missing is the preview button. And basically all I'm going to do is say make the source none, meaning just work on the same image. And now you could see, for example, that I could start to remove the color and get some interesting effects that way, brighten it up quite a bit, or even fade some of it back out so we get some really kind of interesting color tinted effects. And this is saying I'm using match color, but I'm really not, because I'm not matching it to something else. I'm just matching it. I'm just basically using these image controls. So that's one possibility. The other one, and this is where, as we often do in my movies, it gets into more of the experimental phase, where you make a selection on each of the images. Now in this case I'm going to select kind of a representative area that has some of the blue, some of her flesh, and maybe if I shift select some of this, I'll just feather it just a little bit because I want to. Then we'll come back here. Let's put this over here. And then go back once again to match color, but this time some other options apply. See how it's saying ignore selections when applying, and if I choose the other image, it's saying also use the selections to calculate the colors or to calculate the adjustment. As you can see, let's turn this on or off. Just by playing with some of these now, I'm getting some really interesting things that are nowhere close to matching the same image, but I'm getting more into kind of a color effect. So you want to make sure that ignore selection is when applying, because you want to apply to the whole photo. Now that's for this case. I'm saying you could certainly do it other ways as well. So for special effects, that's one possibility. Here's the other thing we could do though. Let's try this. Let's go and select color range and try and select the blue sky. And I'll just do it kind of roughly for now. And just make sure that nothing is selected down here. Now I'll go back to match color. In this case, we'll just go back to our other file, but we are going to say use the selection to calculate the adjustment. So look at that, interesting. Now it's almost looking like she's got a bit of a sunset thing happening. So on the surface, match color works well some of the time, but I think if you start playing with some of these other possibilities, you'll see there really are some interesting things you can do when you go sort of outside the box and try things that aren't really the way you're supposed to use this, but ways that work just kind of cool. Now, as always, the possibilities are endless, so be willing to experiment. You never quite know what you'll end up with. I'm Dave Cross. I'll see you next time.